Okay, everyone, the Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. Runnemede District mission statement. Runnemede School District is the skill set of all members within a school community in an effort to provide successful educational experience to all children. We will provide a well-rounded program that allows all students to meet expectations with New Jersey student learning standards at all grade levels. This will be ensured through a strong instructional program, safe environment, professional development for staff, and financial accountability. Meetings officially called to order. The Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Mary Wold School, A-Line Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please stand for the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Ms. Davey? Ms. Davey? Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Mr. Lego?
Here.
Ms. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Warner?
Here.
Ms. Sams?
Here.
Ms. Spalding? We have a quorum. Also present, Mr. Iannucci, Superintendent, Sean McCarron, myself, Business Administrator, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Jade Yezzi, Principal, Bingham Downing School, Steve Maloney, Vice Principal, Gladys Hubbard, Director of Special Education, and Frank Hines, Supervisor of Buildings and Grounds. Do I have a motion and a second for approval of the June 11th regular and executive session meeting minutes? Motion made by Maria Panzarella, second by Lindsay Davey. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davey?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Sims?
Yes.
Motion passes. We do not have any presentations this evening or correspondence. At this time, we are open for public comments on agenda items only. Any public comments on agenda items only? Seeing none, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Iannucci.
There's no report for me on paper this month. I'm just kind of giving an update of what's going on. Projects are ongoing, as you can see. There's everything else all over the place. Summer started off smooth. I'm looking at Frank because he always loves when I look at it. The summer started off smooth, and then about mid-July we had a couple of hiccups. Specifically a hiccup on the side retaining wall. That's probably not going to be done in September, so if you've ever driven by it, see what's going on out. We're going to probably put up a safety fence up there, Frank, so nobody can kind of get to that, just because we want anything to happen. It's not a problem, we just don't want to do that. Sometimes kids may see something that might look fun to play in, but we're still able to use all the facility, but that wall's not going to be done. The wall to the gym entrance, we should be good to go on that, correct, Frank?
I think they're pouring out tomorrow, actually.
So, weather permitting. So there's different things in here. A couple of HVAC issues. This room was just kind of finished on Monday. Our room here at Volts will be finished up this week or early next week. The vestibule area, they're working on that again tomorrow and next week. So it looks like we've got a week and a half left. What are you doing? But this is how kind of schools come into play. They put their feet to the fire a little bit. The Downing office is, they put the tiling up in the bathroom. That looks really good. I'll get some pictures of kind of closer down. I'll send them out there. You post them on Facebook. And they're doing the flooring and painting in there this week and next week, so that hopefully also be as well. The fire panels, if that new fire panel is not put in place, they will be using the old system until they're ready to put that in. They're working Saturdays. They're doing weekend shift, things like that. So it will be up and ready to go. Parent information has been sent out regarding class lists and rosters and things like that. There was a blip last week in an email that I had sent out last week that was supposed to the families and attached the welcome back staff letter. Anybody got that? There's nothing on there. It's, whatever. But real time, my letter that went to families that said the message said what it was supposed to say, and for some reason, we spent 4.5 hours of real time trying to figure out. They fixed it, but never gave me an answer of why that was happening. But again, luckily there's nothing confidential that's sent out, or some emails I sent to Mr. McCarron. But once sent out, so that was corrected. So if you did get that, I apologize. Thank you, Ms. Sams, for bringing it to my attention rather quickly. But I couldn't figure out why it was happening, and I let the experts figure it out. Back to school information was sent out, as well as for Volts and Bingham and Downing. Those dates coming up. Kickoff event is, I'll screw this up again, September 2nd, 5 o'clock?
5:30.
5:30 to 7. That is Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. So if you're able to come to that, you get some fun stuff happening. So for the weather cooperates, it has nothing with it.
Mr. Iannucci requested pony rides, so we're very excited that we will have ponies, there will be bounce houses.
Dr. McCown will be cleaning up after times. So that's good. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, now's a good time to ask.
Seeing no questions, on to my own report. Okay, so just so everyone's aware, as Mr. Iannucci said, Tuesday, September 2nd is our kickoff event, 5:30 to 7 o'clock, so we are excited to be hosting that before and after Carrie sponsoring that. We will have bounce houses, PTA sponsoring the bounce house piece. We will have pony rides, we will have a photo booth. It is for all 3 schools, so please have everyone come out. We will have food, there's usually, we have pizza, brownies, things like that. So this should be a fun time. Curriculum updates have taken place over the summer. The majority of the curriculum updates that have taken place was, number 1, updating the English standards. Many of the English standards didn't necessarily change, but the codes to the standard changed with the state. So we had to go through and update those standards. We also moved from a monthly scope and sequence within the curriculums to a trimester, so that way it matched and aligned more with the marking periods as far as where the teachers usually are within each of the marking periods, and we tried to look at it from that perspective. The major overhaul in the curriculum updates, though, was if you look at the end of the curriculum guides, there are cross-curricular standards. So under each grade level, for 2nd grade science, you will see 2 language arts standards that can connect with 2nd grade science, 2 math standards that can connect with 2nd grade science. Because those standards updated in prior years, they had to be updated in every single one of the curriculum guides also. So it was a tedious process, so I want to thank those staff members who assisted in doing that. But it was going through and making sure that all of those standards were correct, updated, and that those accommodations were also listed along with it. So that was done. A big thing that's taking place this upcoming year with curriculum, though, is going to be testing. Pearson no longer has the contract with the state of New Jersey. So Pearson is what we've used for the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment for a number of years. We've had this conversation before as a district, how as soon as once we get a handle on one assessment, the state will usually then change it. It's going to be a base year. They're moving to Cambria Learning, which is a completely different company. They're saying that some districts will be piloting the new assessment in the upcoming year. So we will see if we are one of the lucky selected individuals who get to administer an additional set of testing for the year. But they're saying that it's going to be more of a, the assessment is going to be changing, the questions are going to modify based on the student responses. So it's no longer like there's 2 versions of the test. The test questions will change based on how the students respond to each of the questions. So it's based more on their skill and ability level. So I'm curious to see what data we get out of that and what that shows in terms of growth from start to end of year. Final thing, Mr. Iannucci said we did have parent information go out. We have not been receiving many phone calls to the office in regards to issues, but what I will be telling everyone is please, please, please make sure meal applications. What many families don't understand is that your meal application follows you from the prior year for up to, I think it's 30 days or 20 school days. And then at that 20 school day mark, if you do not have a new meal application on file, your status moves to paid. So many people assume that because they were free last year that they will be free this year. If you have not received a letter from us, a new meal application has to be filed. If you have a SNAP, TANF, or any type of number, you give that to us, we can put that in the system, and that's an automatic status. But it's just making sure that we get that information and that we are able to do that. You will also see in tonight's board agenda that I am submitting for one of the grants, and because we are currently at 41% free and reduced status, we're actually eligible for one of those grants, whereas we had to hit a 40% mark. So that's a positive. So that's why I'll also say that if you don't have a meal application filled out, please, please, please make sure, and that then has a direct correlation in terms of money that we receive from the state based on that percentage that is listed. Any questions for me?
Yeah, even if you don't qualify, it's so important. Like, it's so.
So that's another thing this year that is different. Parents might be receiving phone calls if they did not do anything with the meal application. Parents have to, when they log in, if they either have to be directly certified, fill out the meal application to see if they qualify, or they must select, I do not wish to apply. So the state of New Jersey is now requiring us to make sure that we show in some way, shape, or form that every parent is aware that the meal application is available, they're aware of the meal prices, and they're aware of all of the different guides that are there. So I know that I have had a couple questions about that, because parents do not want, some don't want to apply, and we understand that, but we still need them just to put in their name, put in a 0, I do not wish to apply, submit, and they'll get a letter saying that they are done for the year, okay? That's all I have. Any questions for me? Okay, seeing none. You can see we do have drills for bowl simply because we had students in the building over the course of the summer. Other reports will resume in September. Do we have any reports for PTA, board committees, County Services Commission, New Jersey School Boards, Progress Bike?
The only one I have is the legislative committee, which I'm on, will be meeting at the end of September. I believe it's September 27th, and it's a Zoom meeting. And I will have a small report back by then. It's usually we meet with a few a few legislators, but they're usually from Bergen County. And I'll give you a little report on that after I have it.
Thank you. Anyone else? We will be going into negotiations this year, so we will usually start that process as a board and with the Runnemede Education Association in October, where we start sharing scattergrams and then we'll start meeting. And then that contract expires on June 30th of 2026. If you are interested in serving on negotiations, please let Samantha know that you would like to be on that committee. So we do need 4 members to be on that committee. So if you are able and willing to do that, sometimes it is longer evenings due to the fact of just meeting with the union and making sure that everything's kind of settled. But the goal is to make sure everything gets settled prior to the end of the school year. Okay, so we are moving on to anything before we move on to new business. Okay, so under property and transportation, can I get a motion and a second for items 1 through 3?
I'll make a motion to approve 1 through 3.
Okay.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Barb Sam, seconded by Melissa Warner. Do I have any questions on items 1 through 3? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davey?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Sands?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, under personnel, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 29.
I'll make a motion for items 1 through 29 under personnel.
Motion's made.
I'll second.
Second made by Lisa O'Brien. So I have a motion made on the table by Marie Panzarella, second by Lisa O'Brien. Do I have any questions on items 1 through 29? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davey?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. Under finance, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 18.
Make a motion 1 through 18. I'll second.
I have a motion by Lindsay Davies, second by Barb Sands. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Number 11 that was added.
Yes.
How many students currently do we have needing debt services?
Last year, the final number for out of district placement.
We just added 2 more. We're like at 6.
I was gonna say 5, so it was 5 or 6, I know, because we're waiting for,
One more.
no, out of district services.
No.
No, she said
Is it deaf?
11, yes.
Deaf.
How many students would receive deaf services, you know? Is it 2?
Oh, for the deaf?
2,
Oh, 2.
Okay.
sorry.
And that's in and out of district?
One above that.
Both? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ms. Strange. Any other
I thought you
questions?
asked me, I heard her wrong.
Oh, yeah. We're deaf.
Just gonna say, I need some service.
Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Sims?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next up, under curriculum, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 14.
I'll make a motion for items 1 through 14.
Motion made by Maria Panzarella,
Second?
second by Naomi Davidson. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Mrs. Warner?
Yes.
Mrs. Sims?
Yes.
Motion passes. Under policy and public relations, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 5.
I'll make that motion on 1 through 5.
Motion made by Dennis Lego. Do I have a second? Second by Barb Sams. Any questions?
I have a question. I know that most of these are regulated. Do we have anything new for the AI policies? Anything coming down from our,
There is one AI policy that we are currently in the process of reviewing with the administration. So hopefully we'll see that in September update.
I don't think that's ongoing, that's one of those ones that's gonna change. But the fluidity of that AI is such a challenging thing to get, we grasp on.
thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Mrs. Warner?
Yes.
Mrs. Sims?
Yes.
Motion passes. At this time, we are open for public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have any non-public comments on non-agenda items?
I have one. Oh, go ahead, you first.
I wanted to actually say this in May, but I just wanted to express my thanks and gratitude to the both schools and the staff and everyone that's supported my son through the last school year. We might not be in the place that we thought we would end up, but I think that it's all been really positive and he has grown so much. And I really have to say that everyone involved in his education and in his journey was just really incredible and very caring, and I just wanted to express my extreme appreciation.
Thank you very much. Anyone else for public comments?
Me. So as a parent of a student who has utilized the summer camp for the last 2 years, I would like to thank the staff, our administration, who's in charge of hiring staff, putting it all together. I think families either really need it, really benefit from it, all the things. For some of us, it was 3 hours a day that permitted appointments that are necessary to keep us going. For others, it permitted parents to work over the summer and help them. I love it. I'm very upset that I was not the first to sign up this season. That's okay. The only issue that I hear of and feel we could change in district is the field trips. And I know that I could have brought this to your attention as a board member and you would have jumped on it 100%. I think we need to do better at accommodating more kids as the program grows, which this year I noticed it has extremely.
The participation in the field trips has grown significantly over the years, which is great. And
Yes.
you know, it's fantastic that
That's
they want
what
to
I started
participate in
talking
that.
about.
Ms. Root, Ms. Dietz, and Ms. Sellers have actually already started. They pretty much have like the outline set up for next year in terms of field trips. We're already looking at ways we can either do multiple field trips on more than just one day. So that way if students don't get on day one, they can go on day two, depending, because some locations can only accommodate a certain number of students in a given day. The other option too is we can also rent a bus and get a second bus if we are at a certain point, but sometimes when you take something over, you set up processes and you put processes in place and you keep those processes because there's no, you just don't change them.
Right.
And then sometimes there's a need to change things. So even looking at, some parents informed me that, getting their child on the field trip was like waiting up for a concert ticket to drop.
Yes.
Like, you have to make sure that you got it on that morning of, and if you didn't get it on that morning of, like, you know,
Forget it.
you would be in deep trouble with your child and, you know, all that stuff. So in no way, shape, or form are we looking for that to be the case. So please know that it is under consideration and is something that we are looking at for.
That's it,
coming
but I
year.
think other than that, the growth is something commendable because obviously people will be taking their children elsewhere. So, thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Public comment?
I do have one question, just as a community member. How many children do we have for going into kindergarten this year?
Hold on, I have that number.
Ms. Yetsey just said
It
it.
just kind of came to my mind asking.
We have
Oh, it's only 20 kids,
26,
that's it.
26, 50.
I know Dowling is 13 as of today, because the
27.
numbers are really low.
Like 50.
I don't know the numbers at Bingham off the
That's
top of my
about
head,
50.
but they're like your average class size.
Not 20.
Yeah.
Dowling's a lot smaller.
20
It was last
20
year
to
too.
20 I think there's 20 to 22 at Bingham right now, and I think there's 13 in one class, 14 in another.
Good, okay, good.
Downing is K1 grades a little
Small.
smaller, but they build back up. We've noticed that trend the last couple of years.
So,
Third grade they build.
and just to give you like an overall awareness too, like the average class size is usually 88 to 100 students per grade level. So that is much lower than what we have across the board. So those, of course, are things that we look at, and Ms. Yazzie tracks those numbers religiously to ensure the fact that, you know, we're utilizing our staff as best as we possibly can. The other thing I want to make the board aware of is that we do have new homes and apartments that are going up. One of the things that we might have to look at as a board is going to be the distance between those units and Bowles School, and to see what that distance is and whether or not transportation is something that we are going to have to look at a larger perspective. As a school district, we are 2 square miles, but if you are outside of that 2 square mile thing, and while we have 12 crossing guards throughout the town, if you hit a certain limit, we have no choice but to then provide courtesy transportation to students at that point. So that is something that we will be looking at. We'll be making sure that we have our distances and everything in place. But that's just something that the board, I want you to be aware of as things come down the pike, literally and figuratively.
Literally.
There you
It's
go.
how Davis word.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, our next Board of Education meeting is going to be on September 17th in the library. Do I have a motion and a second to adjourn? Motion made by Maria Panzarella, second by Lindsay Davy. All in favor? Ayes have it. Motion, meeting is adjourned. 6:53.